So, this YouTube thing is amazingly hard, and you and I both know that consistency is the cornerstone of succeeding in YouTube. It is quite simple, but not at all easy concept. And what follows is my 5-step plan to get consistent with these videos. Hi guys, my name is Janne, I'm a designer friend from Finland, and I've been trying to make YouTube videos for a while now, and I still keep bumping into the same obstacle. I make a video or two and then I focus on other stuff, too much time passes by, and when I try to get on the saddle again, it feels like I'm doing the first video all over again. My main excuse is so-called real work. I work as a web designer, and whenever I have projects going on, it's hard to find time or make time for content creation. I have had this problem for over 2 years, and I'm not promising you any silver bullets or definite answers. I hate when people do that. What follows is my plan to overcome this challenge. And here is the so-called plan. Oh shoot, someone blurred out the last steps. That sneaky little brat trying to trick you into watching the whole video. I happen to know that there are timestamps for every step in the description, so go ahead and use those. Okay, let's get the simple ones out of the way. Firstly, we need to make it easy to record a video. In my case, it means that I have my lighting setup ready and I have OBS ready, and whenever I need to record something, I will just press record. The other side of this step is of course the ideas. It's easier to record something if you know what the video is about. That's why I have a list where my ideas live. So whenever I have a new idea, I will just fill it in the list, and just to be sure that there is always something, I have created a backlog out of AI generated ideas. Okay, with the setup and ideas, my aim is to be able to record, let's say, within 5 minutes of opening my computer in the morning. Of course, the next logical question is, what am I going to say about a certain topic? And that leads us up to the step number 2, lowering the bar. So I don't want the script writing to become a burden for me, so most of my videos I will just wing it. I'm not saying that planning or writing your script is a bad thing. For me, it usually just stands in the way of getting the actual video done. The other quality related thing is of course editing. Sometimes I do minimal editing, sometimes I do no editing at all. Again, this is just to get the bar low enough that you get something published on a consistent basis. A non-edited but published video is always better than an unfinished Premiere profile on your desktop. Editing actually relates to the third point, which is outsourcing the boring stuff. I have tried outsourcing the editing to Fiverr or the freelancers of Fiverr, and they do amazing work. Of course, that demands some money, but not as much as you might think. You can get awesome edits for under $200 or euros for that matter. And I happen to have a company of my own, so I write those off as a marketing expense. On top of that, I'm planning to try out this hybrid system where I do some of the editing myself and leave the more exciting videos for the pros. Number 4 is scheduling the time and of course using the time slot to do the actual work. I have struggled with this one so much. I have tried time blocking, I have made multiple events for myself in my calendar. I have also tried reoccurring tasks on my to-do lists, but for some reason I just don't obey them. My real work basically always comes first, of course because it pays the bills. I have tried to reason with myself and my stubborn brain that even though video making is not like urgent, it is still important. Just like physical exercise, no one's gonna notice if you skip a workout today, but if you keep skipping the workouts for a long enough time, it will come back and bite you. So what will I do differently this time? So I will block one morning in a week for video making. The morning hours are my quality hours, and that will leave 4 mornings in a week for client work. On top of that, I of course have a huge responsibility to manage my client work so that I don't have too many projects or too much work, and if there is some minor tasks, those can wait after the content production. Oh, I'm hoping this time I will make this work. Last one before the bonus round: podcasts and streams. You know how everyone has their own podcasts nowadays, and that's because it's a brilliant way to produce content. You just have a conversation and post that. Okay, there might be something more to it, but think about it. You just prepare some questions or topics and ramble about those. You get the long form video and those out of the context clips that all of us are addicted to these days. So I'm planning to try this out too, but of course it needs some preparations. Luckily nowadays there are software that makes it easy to have online conversations and record them. One of those platforms is Riverside. Not a sponsor or anything, but yeah. Then the streams. I bundled them with podcasts because it's basically the same idea from content points of view. So you produce something lightly scripted and long form and then produce multiple pieces of content out of it. Streams are also good for the document don't create mindset that Carrie V coined. And I'm also trying this out too. Of course, my first streams will be embarrassing, but hopefully with some time something comes out of it. Then the bonus step, or maybe this is more like an idea. It relates to habit building in general, and it is identity shifting. Basically means that you have to identify as the person you want to be. For example, I need to identify as a person who consistently publishes these videos. So I am not a web designer who sometimes gets a video out. I am a beginner YouTuber that publishes regularly and understands the importance of consistency. That might sound a bit woo-woo, but when you get to the point where there's a conflict between your values and actions, that usually is a step towards right direction, and hopefully the correcting action follows. Hopefully this was helpful for you too, and if you don't mind me popping up into your feed more regularly, do me a solid and subscribe to my channel. It would really mean a lot, especially now when I'm just starting my journey. But that's all. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.